think he's on top of it, and I really hope to see a really strong showing from him on this map, considering that he did well pick it. Um, with that said, I think we should get moving right along to avoid any further delays, and let's see if F91 can extend his $25 lead. So here we go, Game 2 of Broodsport number 1 between Idra and F91, with F91 taking a 1-0 lead. And here's Game 2 on Chupung-Ryeong. Here we have Idra spawning in the bottom left-hand corner in cyan, and we have F91 spawning in red in the top right. And I mean, I don't know, what do you think about the prospects of cheese on this map, considering that there is that back entrance there?
Well, I don't think a standard. I don't really want to call it cheese because I don't think, again, the rush distance is kind of far. It's a two-player map, so I don't think we're going to see anything like 5-pool or even all-in Zerglings. But Zergling backstab is really strong on this map, and there is some sort of cute maneuvers that you can do, sneaking lurkers in the back door with an Overlord. Someone actually did that against Reach. I can't last night in Pro League. I can't remember who did it, but it's a really cute maneuver, and that can kill a lot of SCVs if you're not looking back there. So often Terrans will just say, forget it, I'm going to put a bunker back there in that choke back there and not have to deal with any of this kind of thing.
Yeah, so far we can see both players pretty much doing what they did from Game 1, except Idra is building a supply depot away from his command center, as there is no use in putting it below the command center in that position. I do think Idra here will probably opt for the essential stock standard TVZ here. I think he will go for a fast command center, as one would expect, and I think he will play pretty much standard TVZ on this map.
This is so old school F91 drone scouting. No one does that anymore, and F91 assuming Idra will cheese. That's kind of a role reversal here. Idra moving straight into just one barracks. I'm gonna expect to see one barracks command center. I mean, that's pretty much the strongest build on this map. F91 now sending the drone out. It's going to be another 12 hatchery, and I mean, nothing wrong with that. As we said, a two-player map, any sort of rush build is going to be scouted. Idra trying to block the ramp, but that gets shut down pretty easily. And looks like he decided not to scout now. Kind of surprising. He went to scout. Now he got distracted chasing this drone around.
Yeah, it seems that I have a feeling that F91 sent that drone out specifically to harass that building SCV, just to annoy Idra that little bit more. Because I mean, in a long series like this, every little mind game advantage helps, and I think this could be part of his long-term strategy to whittle away at Idra's confidence in the series.
He's getting a lot done with that drone. This SCV is down to 10 HP, drone down to 9 HP again. There's an opportunity that he could snipe that. Idra's got to be careful. And oh, nice block, and now with only 5 HP, he's forced to turn away. And I mean, people can say, you know, it's only one SCV, how much can that matter? Things like this really do matter, not so much in determining endgame economics, but your early game timings are all off if you're down even one SCV. So, and especially kind of a mechanical player, almost robotic like Idra, would really suffer from that.
Yeah, we can see Idra has stockpiled his 400 minerals, and he is going to be going for her command center after one marine, which is, you know, as Chill already said, pretty much the best build you can do on this map. That scouting drone's going to return home, and he's going to be happy that he's going to be able to mine some minerals, and actually going to be help the Zerg economy along quite well, because I mean, losing that scouting drone would put the economy slightly behind, because I mean, drones are more important for Zerg than SCVs are for Terran.
So we've got again second barracks, only a single marine now, and refinery. I guess Idra's confident, he's got that scouting SCV in there. Only 2 Zerglings out chasing that. Typically, I mean, F91 is kind of doing, it's still standard, but it's a little bit of a variation. The typical is 12 hatchery, 11 pool, 13 hatchery, and then get 6 Zerglings and 16 gas. But we see he's doing 12, 11, 16, and then getting gas and only getting 2 Zerglings. So that does kind of throw things off a little bit, and that does mean Idra can get a second barracks in his academy and gas that much quicker.
Yeah, I mean, Idra's really trying to power his economy. I mean, so far, every game this series, he's been cutting at corners as much as he can based on the scouting information from that SCV, trying to get his economy online that much faster and that much stronger. I mean, Idra is playing quite smart. I mean, this programmer training, I think, is really showing here.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Cutting to get this quicker economy and get your infrastructure set up is definitely the way to go. If you have that pro gamer scouting and you realize you don't need those early units, I mean, put all that money into infrastructure and economy. That's just the proper way to play. But a lot of people, you know, They don't have the time to look at the scouting, and they haven't been through all these situations like Idra has, 8, 10, 12 hours a day for the past 9 months. So I agree, it is paying off. We've got the academy up now, 2 bats coming out, and then medics. That's actually a little wrong. Typically people say get the medics first so they can build up energy, so I'm surprised to see him get the bats first.
Interesting there. It looks like he's mucking around with his SCVs a bit in the natural. I don't know if that just may not it over, but it looked kind of peculiar. Yeah, as you said, we got the medics coming out now, and I'm curious to see if Idra will try to do another early game pressure like he did last time. I mean, last time it wasn't too effective for him, and I would wager that F91 will be prepared once again because he's got that overload and prime scouting position.
So we see F91 putting down a Hydralisk den, which is kind of strange given that he's waited for the layer to finish and then put it down, so his timing's a little off there. I can't see any legitimate reason for this other than a mistake. He's got the evolution chamber down, getting +1, and I really like lurker openings on this map because of these 2 ridges. You can see Idra moving up to the first ridge, and the second one is by F91's base. These ridges are basically impossible to take once controlled with lurkers, and that sets up a really strong mid game if you can slowly push with those lurkers. If you're sort of a tactical player who can control the map and then move into something like defilers or drop play. I really, really like that opening, and it's not something people see a lot, so it throws a lot of players off, so I'd like to see how Idra handles this.
And Idra's already getting a fast +1 on his engineering bay, which is built right in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. He's also adding his factory, so I would expect him to add a starport relatively quickly after that. And here we got some lings coming out for F91, probably just to scout around. Yep, he's pulling a few back. That one Zergling's going to look around to see if there's anything funny going on, which there isn't. Meanwhile, F91 has his lurker tech almost finished and a few Hydralisks morphing, so yeah, I mean, those lurkers are going to be quite effective once they get out.
And I've got to think that Idra does know that lurkers are coming, because this factory is really quick, although as soon as I say that I see turrets going up. So I don't know if this is drop turrets or what these are. These don't look placed properly for Mutalisk. So I'm still going to go with the fact that he knows lurkers are coming in. That's why he has his army up front. And here comes F91 up to this ridge at the south, sees the army and turns around quickly. That's not a battle he wants to get into. Just sending these Zerglings around, looking for stray units he can pick off.
Curiously enough, Idra just scanned F91 and saw that he was taking Hydralisk, or rather Lurker, and cancelled both those turrets in his main and at his natural, so I guess he didn't know that were coming, but I guess those turrets were just genuinely misplaced for some reason.
We see in reaction he's adding 2 bunkers, and he had that third bunker down at the backstab area like I mentioned before, so he really doesn't want to lose to lurker, this early lurker attack. The thing about playing lurkers is if you can get past the timing where they first come and you only have Marines, then you find yourself quite in an easy position, unlike Mutalisk, which keep you in your base. Once you get a single vessel out and a tank, it's really easy to fight lurkers. I mean, especially at the pro gamer level with Idra's micro, he should be able to flank and surround the lurkers. So, Idra does think he's the better player. He wants to play safe, get into the mid game, where he has a significant advantage based on the build order differential and based on the skill differential.
I don't know, Chilla, I'm not the biggest TVZ expert, but shouldn't F91 be looking to take his third by now, or is this going to be slightly more all-in-ish?
Yeah, it does seem kind of strange. It doesn't look all-in-ish because he's getting a Queen's Nest, so some sort of follow-up. But he's got +1 armor here. This is probably going to be the timing. Idra needs to pull back. He kills a single lurker, loses a firebat, good trade. But he doesn't have, even with his pro gamer micro, he doesn't have enough units to deal with this many lurkers. So he should be falling back, waiting for tanks, waiting for vessels, and then looking to push out. This is a really small army. It's going to be really unfortunate if F91 decides to commit to this attack and kill this little army. I really think he's playing with fire here.
Well, we can see Idra's got 2 tanks out now, and a vessel has just started in the starport. I like how F91's... Oh, here we go, we have the lurkers firing, and Idra wisely retreats, and Zerglings try to get around those Marines, but can't quite get there, and Idra wisely gets out. And here we go, F91 going all in with all his units. The lurkers firing in great position, and they'll be able to kill a lot of Marines. Oh, wow! And there goes the second tank, and wow, those lurkers are doing an amazing amount of damage there, and I don't know how much longer Idra can put up with this much pressure.
The pressure, oh my god. Alright, 1 Marine in that barracks. How many scans are left? He's got 1 scan on his natural. He's got no scans on his main, so F91 forced to retreat. Idra barely held that. I'm surprised, and as I was saying, he really forced his own hand there as he was keeping that army out front. But to his credit, F91 hasn't taken a third base, so Idra defending will look pretty good here. He's just got to be worried about defilers. The hive is about 75% done, so he's really got to be worried about those defilers. And his +1 attack has been negated by the +1 carapace. And a big army for F91 coming down now. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, F91 has prepared everything now for the second attack. The first attack was to whittle down that army as much as he can, and the second attack is going to be the killing blow, I think. And here we go, here comes the Zerglings coming in, attacking those Marines, doing a good job. Those Lurkers burrowing in great position. Where are the medics, Idra? There are no medics around. Those Lurkers doing a massive amount of damage, insane damage done there. All of the Marines are dead, and Idra has completely lost all position, and he will lose control of his natural, and I don't think he'll be able to put up much of a fight after this.
Yeah, he's got a vessel and a tank. He could be able to hold this, but the thing that's going to kill him is the Defiler follow-up. The Hive is done for F91. He's got a lot of gas, and the Adrenalings are going to be finished pretty soon. He'll be able to hold this and get control of his natural again, but the follow-up, really, there's going to be almost no way he can defend the follow-up. Still waiting, looking for some sort of Hive tech, and there goes the Defiler mount. It's down now, and Adrenaling started, so that is really going to finish Idra.
Doesn't even look like he'll be able to regain control of his natural. Those reinforcements are coming down very quickly, as fast as Zerglings do. And F91 is on here we go, a single G from Idra. Game, I guess that means. And you have now earned yourself $50 and gone 2 up in the series.
Wow. I don't know. There's not much credit I can, or discredit I can give to F91 in that game. I think Idra played really well. I think his micro was solid, and I think the only mistake he made was keeping that small army forward, and that really cost him the game. So I think he knew exactly what F91 was doing and just still lost to it. And I mean, what can you say to that?
I disagree. To me, it looked like Idra was playing towards a more standard Zerg. I mean, he is used to a lot of standard Zergs as he does practice this map a lot, and the timings to me looked like he was only prepared for a smaller amount of units, thus he was keeping those units out there. But F91, with his all-in-ish style, had prepared a 2-base build there to quickly overwhelm that any small kind of resistance that Idra could follow right before the vessels came in, and that timing there was absolutely perfect, and that Idra could only rely on scanners to see those lurkers. And on top of that, he amassed a very large army very quickly, and in 2 solid blows he was able to knock Idra out of the game.
I mean, that's fair, but Idra knows F91 is kind of an all-in style. I don't know, if he played that game again, I don't know what he would have done differently against a lurker opening or an all-in lurker opening. It seems to me the counter should be very similar, and he did have 2 bunkers and tanks. I don't know how much more he could have expected except being in a little better position and being pre-sieged.
Yeah, that's a fair enough comment to make, I mean. But I still got to give full credit to F91 for quite a nice build there. I mean, it's always good to win a game off a programmer like that. Moving on, we're coming up to Game 3. My personal favourite map of the series, Andromeda. I think this map is absolutely wonderful. It's provided some of the best TVZ games of all of last year, and indeed this year. Great games such as Sea vs Savior from WWI. We had Sea vs Chupung-Ryeong from Pro League a little while ago, and recently last night we had Sea vs Luxury, which was a great game on Andromeda. And yeah, they all involve sea, but there are many other great TVZs, but those are the only ones I can remember at this moment. What do you think about this map, Jill?
I actually saw all those games. I'm so proud, given that I have a reputation for not watching pro gaming. I think on this map, F91 will probably not be able to handle Idra because, I mean, there's nothing. Idra hasn't made it to the mid game, and I think we can all agree that the mid game is going to be Idra's territory. And possibly once we get to the late game, F91 will be able to take it back. I don't know how his Defiler control is, but that's a good opportunity for him to take it back. And I think Idra is going to be able to amass a safe, massive army in the mid game of this map, and I just don't think F91 will be able to handle it.
I agree that I think either F91 is going to be able to close this out very, very quickly with some kind of cheap all-in build to negate the fact that Idra is going to be so incredibly strong in the mid game on this map. And so if I think this game goes longer than 10 minutes without F91 gaining a significant advantage, that Idra is going to be able to walk away with a victory in this game and claw back some ground in the series. So let's end the speculation and get this game going.